feel like I'm in a... I think it looks like a jungle.
Looks like a jungle. Tell me more.
Very, very overgrown. Lots of green leaves.
Look around you. What else do you see?
I see a waterfall.
How do you get to the waterfall?
It's within the greenery.
See yourself walking towards that waterfall and notice if you feel that you have a body there. What do you sense?
I'm not sure.
The observer of this waterfall, is it physical?
Yes. But it's different. It's like I'm not the observer. It's like I'm observing. Very alien-like.
Tell me more about that.
It's got a long kind of face and almost like little knob things on the head of the skull. Very lizard, like very warrior-like, scathy skin.
Does this being have any clothing?
No.
Are you observing?
Yes.
So let's see what else happens. What does this being do?
It's like I'm following it behind the waterfall.
Is it going behind the waterfall?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's behind the waterfall. What happens next? Describe everything you see.
It's like a cavern that leads to more openings. It's lit. It's like a home. It's like where they live.
Do you see more than this one being?
No, but they're around.
What do you feel from these beings?
Just observing.
So what happens next? Where does this being go?
Taking me further inside. And leads me to a stone kind of water thing.
This water thing, is this where they keep their water?
No, it seems ritualistic. Seems like a place where like the elders gather and rituals take place.
Allow yourself now to see that ritual.
It's a place where the elders gather and seek into the future. Look into the future.
How is that done?
Through the water in the stone.
What is it used for, this seeking into the future?
To protect the species.
Why does the species need protection?
Because they live a very simple way of life.
These elders, are they male or female? Do they have genders?
Predominantly is male. There's some females. They all sit in a circle with the stone thing in the middle. The stone thing's so high, is a bit unusual.
Tell me about that. What's unusual about it?
Everyone sits down on the floor, sort of like cushions, and then the stone thing is like in the middle. It feels like a fountain, sort of like a fountain.
And how do they read the information from the water?
One of them reads the information.
What happens next?
I don't know. They use the information.
So let's close that scene. Allow yourself to close that scene, and let's go to the next important scene in that same lifetime. Be there now.
Flying in the sky.
How do you fly?
They're made up of these contraptions with wood and a material, and there's a few of them.
Who's flying?
Me.
Are you physical?
Yes.
What do you look like?
Looks like me.
Where are you flying to?
Out to the sun.
Tell me more.
It seems like a practice session.
Practice flying?
Yes.
Where is it that you're going today?
Doesn't seem anywhere particular. Just out to the sun. Enjoying the scenery, which is the sea and the sun setting.
Where do you visit?
There's another island out to sea.
Tell me more.
It doesn't seem like there's anyone there, but it's just somewhere that we go to.
Who is the we that we speak of? Who goes with you?
There are others there, and I'm leading them.
Take a look around you. What do they look like?
The same, almost like scaly with nobule things on their skull. Long fingers, 3 fingers with a thumb and long fingernails. The skin's kind of like a dark green. Very strange mouths, almost like a suction. No teeth, but there looks like a tongue.
What do the eyes look like?
Normal round pupil-shaped eyes.
What do you look like? Look at your hands.
I can't tell.
Where is it that you're going to today? You said an island?
It's practicing. Practicing for an event of war or some kind of battle.
Who are you battling against?
It seems like almost like the Palladian races. They've got long blonde hair and flowy kind of gowns, and that's what I'm.
Where do you see them?
That's the image that I see.
Those are the ones that you are battling against?
There's conflict between us. They seem more advanced than us.
Let's find out what it is that you are battling against. I'm going to count from 3 back to 1. When I get to number 1, we will be at the origin of this battling. Taking a deep breath in now. 3, going through time and space. 2, to find the origin of these battles. And 1, be there now. Where are you?
You're in a field. It's almost like marshland.
Are you alone or with others?
I'm with others.
What's happening?
We're battling these creatures, they're humanoids. It seems, I get the feeling we're battling over ways of life.
What are you using to battle?
We've got primitive weapons, but they don't seem to have them.
What do they use to defend themselves against you?
It feels like magic, but it's more kind of their energy. They're tall and they're powerful. We're quite short compared to them. The presence is very overpowering. I can't tell whether they're male or female. They look male, but they've got elf-like features, so they could be female. It's hard to tell.
And when you are battling with them, how do you feel towards them? What emotions come up? I feel like we've been trained to do this. I feel like there is no thought behind it. We've just got to do this as part of what we've got to do. So I'd like for you to advance the scene and let's see what the outcome is. What happens?
They overpower us. We die. It's far too powerful. But I can't understand what to see for what end. Besides the fact we were just sent to do it.
Yes. So as that lifetime ends, what happens to you, your spirit? Where do you go?
Away from the planet, out back in space.
Let's follow the spirit. Let's follow the journey and tell me what happens in space.
It's almost like I'm a star just out there and going somewhere. I don't know if it's anywhere particular, just out.
What do you see?
Space.
What do you feel?
I'm not sure.
So we're going to close that scene now, and we're going to now go to another lifetime that is affecting the lifetime of Nilesh. Close that scene. I'm going to count from 5 back to 1. When we get to number 1, we will be at that other lifetime. 5, going back through time and space to another time, another place. 4, 3, allow the images to come. 2, and 1. Be there now. Where are you?
I'm a monk, or looking at a monk. Very strange. It's like a long stone structure in the middle of nowhere, just standing on it.
What is the structure you're standing on?
There's nothing around it. It's just a long, tall stone structure, and I'm standing on it, but I don't understand why.
What do you look like?
Fear. I understand. It's fear. It's to conquer my fear of heights, conquer my fear. That's why I was placed there.
So, by standing on this very tall structure, this fear is being addressed.
Yes. It's hard not to. When you're on a tall stone structure with nothing around you, my feet barely fit on it.
What is all around you?
It just looks like rocks and massive caverns that doesn't make any sense. I don't know how it's impossible to climb up it or to get there, but I'm there. I'm having to learn about fear and how to control it and how to conquer it.
How are you doing?
Sometimes it's overwhelming and sometimes it's not.
So let's see what happens with this very important exercise.
I jump.
What happens next?
I fly.
How does that feel?
I didn't know I could. I didn't know I had the ability to fly, but it's taking that leap.
Where do you go when you fly?
I'm free anywhere I want.
What does that teach you?
That if I take the leap, I set myself free, and therefore leads to joy and happiness.
How can that lesson be applied for the current lifetime?
Don't think, just do.
Is this monk influencing the life of Nilesh?
No, it was me in the past. And now on the cliff edge. I feel like I've got someone with me, but I can't see them properly.
So I'd like for you to use your knowing. Connect.
Okay, yes.
Who is that?
Very much feels like the present-day Dalai Lama. It's like I'm being judged upon my actions. It's almost like he's got a clipboard and it's a tick box.
So let's find out what it is that he's judging on. What does he have to say?
The purpose seems to be universal, but I don't understand the context.
So let's ask. I'd like for you to go ahead and connect with him. His words will be your thoughts. What is it that you are judging Nilesh on?
To have no bounds, to have no fear, not just on this planet but anywhere.
How is he doing?
He's a top student. He's learning well. He's very young. He's only 23.
What did he come here to learn?
To not be bound by anything or anyone.
What about his responsibilities?
He's young, he doesn't have any.
What are the words of wisdom that you would like to give this young man?
Mind over matter. Try. Have faith. Find your joy. And you can do this.
So what does he need to do next?
We're training him. He has a bigger role to play in the universe. He needs to be ready.
He wonders why he came.
He's going from planet to planet and learning these lessons. He's come here to learn about fear and control and is here to learn, but he's still very young.
What does he do with responsibilities when it comes to family?
He has none. Not here while we're training him.
Very good. This place where you are, where is this?
It's like a barren rock planet.
Where is he from originally? Where has he come from?
Source.
From Source. Is he still connected to Source?
Always. He sits next to Source on the left-hand side.
He would like to have a conversation with Source, his father. Would you take him there, please?
Source is not allowing that.
Ah, why is that?
He's been sent to do a job. He cannot have connection to Source until that job's done.
What happens when we disconnect from Source like that?
He's fine. He doesn't need the connection.
He doesn't.
No. He's powerful enough not to need the connection. This is why I sent him.
Why is that?
I need my warriors here on planet Earth. He's been sent.
Who sent him?
Source.
What is the reason that at this time warriors are needed on planet Earth? What's happening to planet Earth?
She's changing. Gaia's changing.
Tell me more.
Need to be ready. Human beings need to change. They need to be ready.
What is this thing that we need to be ready for?
For Gaia. She's changing. She's evolving. Humans aren't ready. I've sent my warriors here to help, to guide, to teach, to keep the vibrational level high.
Will that help?
Yes.
So what in particular is this warrior doing on Earth at this time?
He's the brightest light.
And as the brightest light, does he have responsibility?
Yes.
What is his mission here as this light?
Shine his light to be as tall as possible.
In what capacity does he need to do that?
To be himself.
To be himself.
Yes.
Does he do this in relationships or in a job? How does he shine his light?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No.
So no matter where he goes, he's shining.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's the tallest of angels.
Mm-hmm. Did this tall angel, has he been on Earth before?
Many lifetimes.
Many lifetimes. So in this lifetime, he is now here to shine his light.
He's here to stand tall on planet Earth and be the beacon, be the light.
Be the light.
Almost like the source of light.
Mm-hmm. Now, by being the source of light, does he need to do anything for other people to help them?
His job is to help, to support. He doesn't understand that even when people are with him, they change.
They do. So just by being in his presence, there's something about him that makes him change?
Yes. He's favorite.
He's favored?
There are many of them on here on planet Earth, but I sent him.
Well, this angel, this very tall beacon of light, is very interested in what is happening on Earth. He's heard about an event.
As he should be. This is what I sent him for.
Can you tell me a little bit about this event that he's here for?
Earth is going to change. She's going to go back to being the glorious green, leafy forest that she should have always been. The structures we see will no longer be here.
What will happen to these structures?
It will change. Almost like they'll be abandoned.
Will she change her form in any way, or just become greener?
She'll be lighter, happier, more joyful.
So does that mean that she will be changing her frequency? How will she be changing?
We're taking her back to what she should have been, rather than what she is now.
So all of these beings that are on her right now, all the inhabitants,
They're ignorant. They don't understand what they're doing. I see them living their lives, unaware what's happening around them. Very selfish. They don't understand. Some of them don't want to understand.
So for those of those that can see, what do they see around them? What are the changes that they're experiencing?
It's difficult for them to see. They are too engrossed in their human life.
Okay.
They have no connection to Gaia. There is a disconnection with her. We need to re-establish the connection. We need to make Gaia joyful again. We need to make her happy again, and she's never going to be that here in this world when we've got human beings ignorant. She calls for them, and they don't hear it because they're in these concrete houses and concrete jungles where they're disconnected. They've forgotten the most simplest things. Walking on grass, making that connection. Some humans are so far engrossed in their lives, they have forgotten the simple ways of life.
Are there any that have remembered?
Some have, but many haven't.
So today, what message do we need to give to the humans?
Change.
Do we need to abandon the concrete jungle?
Yes. You need to let it go.
How are we to live in a society that is built around sustaining our lives within the concrete jungles?
It's because they made you believe that this is the way you're meant to live. But you're so surrounded by concrete, you don't even feel Gaia anymore. It's open spaces. There's greenery being around in untouched parts where they're still there. She's still there.
You said you're going to be able to change Gaia. Right now, Gaia is very polluted.
She's dying.
How will you be able to help her?
She's transcending to a new earth. This one will die. It will be rock. There will be nothing that can live on here on this planet. Nothing. It will be like a floating rock in space.
What about this new earth you speak about?
It's joyful. It's happy. It's going to be trying to learn to live like this again.
So the humans also are wondering, how will they be part of this new earth? Will they need to transcend?
Some will choose to come here, and some won't. Some will die. I get the feeling it's a handful, not many. Many will just choose to die and move on. There seems to be a big. The illusion is strong here, and people are still living the illusion in their houses with their TVs, with the Wi-Fi, ignorant to it all. They can't even sense anymore. They have lost these abilities.
So is there any hope for these people?
No, I feel like no. they will just leave.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a handful that will come to Gaia, but they will already be ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something they have chosen. They want to work with Gaia, with her energy, and support her to grow, to flourish. But it's very few.
Mm-hmm. Now these warriors that have come here to help with Gaia transcending.
Their job is hard.
Mm-hmm.
There are many of them.
What are these warriors' role? What do they need to do?
The same as this one. To shine their light, to stand tall, to be that beacon across the planet Earth.
Just for Gaia? Or for other humans?
To help them to ascend.
Mm-hmm. Now when you say ascending, it means without a body or with?
With.
How does that happen? How do we ascend with a body?
Rainbow Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You will walk across a bridge. Some of these warriors will take you there. They will walk with you across the bridge.
Mm-hmm. How does one know that they are a warrior?
You know. You're strong. You're courageous. Very warrior-like.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're in the presence of one. Because you feel subdued. You feel different.
Mm-hmm.
You're fascinated by them. You can't stop staring. Some of you are mesmerized by them. And yet they are kind and caring and loving and give.
Now this warrior, Nilesh, seems to give and give and give, but never receive back.
That's the way I taught him. This is what I expect from him. He's powerful. There's enough energy to deal with this and more. Plenty. He's a powerful being within himself, but being with Gaia is almost like it's a bit like a battery pack in some ways.
But it's in this society he needs to have a career, a job, and it seems that he has a blockage in abundance.
It's not needed. He doesn't need it. It's not what I sent him for. He sits next to me. I sent him to be himself, to be the shining beacon, and he's doing that. He's like the best way I can describe it is like a tall light, the beacon above the earth. It's like a big totem pole, and he's vibrating his light across the earth, and in turn switching every single one of you on. So we're recharging you, showing you that you have light. He shows you.
So he's transmitting
Yes.
this energy to everyone automatically.
Yes. His place is here, on planet Earth. I sent him. This is his job.
Will he ever be in partnership with anyone else to do this?
He has people around that support him. They too are aware he's different, and they support him.
Will he meet anyone who he could be in more of a partnership with?
There are many of them
Yes.
that he could be compatible with.
How does he meet them?
It's not his time yet. I need him to complete his job. I need him to complete his mission.
How long will this mission take?
As long as it takes. He can be there for as long as he wants to be there.
How is it that he connects with you, Source?
He's kind of like an advisor. We discuss things. We discuss ideas, issues. He keeps me balanced. I value his input. That's why he sits on the left side of me. He has a throne. He knows this.
How is he in comparison to other angels?
He is Metatron. He is the angel of all angels. They know him. He knows them. But it's important to keep them separate. Otherwise, they won't do their job. It's important for them to be separate, not to know each other, to continue being the beacons I need them to be.
So each one of these angels has a different role to play?
Yes. Each one has special gifts, special skills.
What is this angel's skills?
Courage, empathy, love.
And when this angel sleeps,
he forgets. He forgets that he is an angel. He forgets that he is in gold. He is in gold.
Does he visit when this body sleeps?
Many places. He works outside of his body when he's sleeping. He doesn't know. He doesn't know this. I sent him to different places.
He's very curious about different races, different beings.
As he should be. He has been to many different races. He has experienced different races.
Has he been these races?
He needed to learn this. In order to learn about different races, he needed to know that it's just, we are all one.
He's very curious about where these other races, aliens, live, and if we are in space.
He knows. He's been to them. He's just forgotten.
Now, there is a difference between visiting these different places as a spirit and visiting these places as a human.
He visits as whichever race is on that planet. No one knows this. People are not aware of who he is. People are not aware that I have sent him. It's almost like, deception is not the right word, but it's almost like there's a shield around him with other people, so they don't know, so he can learn what he needs to learn and experience what he needs to experience. He understands that all races are one, and he needed to learn that by going to different planets and living at different beings, many different beings, different shapes, different sizes, different colours, different traditions, different rituals. He needed to learn.
Are there humans that live on other planets, or are they different?
Humanoids, Palladians, different beings, different shapes. Some you would not imagine.
Why so many different types?
You are all my children. I love you all.
No matter what.
Sometimes there are things that you need to learn. There are some that are falling short. You need to try harder.
Now, there are some who would say that they are those of the light and those of the dark. And you say they're all equal?
They're all my children.
Why would there be something that would be so dark?
How would you recognize light if you didn't have darkness? How would you recognize right from wrong, left and right?
So all of that is on purpose?
Partly. And partly you created it.
How did we create that?
It was an experiment. And you wanted to see. You wanted to learn through experimenting. If we try this, what happens? You're very curious. If we try that, what happens? I allowed it.
So when we say that are we talking about souls or humans?
Talking about you. Everything has to be consented. I gave my blessing because I love you. You're like children, still curious, still exploring the universe with great wonder. And you learn. You're like babies to me. You're like toddlers to me, some of you. And I'm not one to say no.
Many would say that when we do bad things, that you're angry.
No. It's just an experience you've chosen. You've forgotten about love. It's the most important thing. You have been imbued with love, every single one of you.
Can you describe what true unconditional love is from
being
Source?
With me, being by my side, being in my light.
How does that feel?
You describe it as heaven. Yeah, it's like heaven.
Now, when we finish our time in a human body, what happens to spirit?
It depends. Some of you are in space, some of you choose to go somewhere else. Some of you come back. And it's like, more punishment.
What does that feel like, punishment, when we come back?
Because it's hard here. Being on planet Earth is like being in a concrete block. Everything's blocked out. You think you're alone. Alone in a block by yourself.
Why is it that somebody feels so lonely when they come to Earth?
They've lost their connection to God.
There are many that are lonely, seeking.
Yes. Something to be learned through loneliness.
What can we learn through this loneliness?
To live with yourself.
Can you explain that?
To reach out. It's to learn to live with yourself, who you are, to recognize the light within you, and to reach out, to touch someone and connect with your fellow light being. It doesn't take much.
So once we feel lonely, we really should be looking within, connecting.
Meditation helps. Connect to the light within you. Learn about it, the flow of it, how powerful it is, how actually you can make your light not only from within, but make it bigger, make it outside of you. And then through that, people will automatically want to connect with you. They see your light. That helps with the loneliness.
So this one that we call Nilesh, He's been alone, and you say he's a beacon.
Everything's meant to happen exactly as meant to be, meant to happen in timing.
In timing. So who are those that assist him here?
It's going to be hard for him to match because of who he is. He already knows this. There are many that he's compatible with, but there are not many that are going to reach the level of understanding he is expecting. He's expecting the impossible.
Now, is this just with Nilesh, or some of the other warriors, are they having the same problems?
They answer to him, although he doesn't know it. They communicate with one another through light, but again, he's not aware of it.
So one of these warriors, would they be a good match for him? Or would it be too strong?
It would just be a lesser light.
Okay.
And it would be poor. It would be a poor connection. I can see many angels, many warriors that I've sent here, and he's compatible with many, but it's not going to be what he's looking for.
So getting back to this main question that he has about this event, is there an event that's happening on Earth?
I'm sending my light. Through the sun.
How will that affect the Earth?
It's going to change it. You're going to see more green than you've ever seen before.
Will that affect the humans in any way?
They will be confused. They won't understand. But there are some that will.
How will this light affect the humans?
We're going to upgrade them. They're going to become more aware of their light, more spiritual. They're going to become the beings and the souls that they are, without the shell, without the exterior, without the pretenses.
Would that mean that we are going to lose our bodies during this event?
It's your choice.
So some will?
Some will choose to. Some prefer to be a light being. They're more comfortable with that. They're more happier with that. There will be those that transcend to that. And you will recognize them. It will be just like them having a name tag, and you have a visual representation of that being's body, of what they would like to project themselves as. It's funny.
So they'll be able to change their body into whatever they desire?
Yes, a bit like, very similar to what you see with the elves on planet Earth. More beautiful.
More beautiful. Is this going to happen anytime soon?
It'll happen when it happens.
Okay. So we can't put a date to it. We can't say, for example, during this lifetime of Nilesh.
Too many variables. It's hard to pinpoint one particular date. There's too much going on. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done.
What kind of work needs to be done before this event happens?
To get people out of these concrete blocks.
So they need to be in nature in order for this to happen?
Yes. You have a film. You have a film called Avatar. Very similar to the connection that they have in the film. To be at one with nature. To understand that you have the power to imbue power within a particular leaf, or the floor, or the grass, or a forest.
Now, will there be any events to force people out of these concrete?
I cannot force you.
It has to be our choice.
Always. It saddens me. It's almost like you have blocked yourself in concrete, and you have no stimulus to the outside world. It's like a coffin in many ways.
But there are those, for example...
It hurts me to see that you do this to yourself.
And how is all of this electronic stuff affecting?
You think it's real? There is no comparison. There's no comparison with the wave that I'm sending. There are even races that are here to witness this, but also it's amusing because they think they can control it. You cannot control it.
So these races that are here, are they just spectators?
Some.
Will it not affect them also?
Yes. They don't understand the power of the light. They too have forgotten. They too are there to witness, they too are there to change, but they feel that the things they are doing will control it. It will not control it. There's nothing they can do. They will be sidewiped with this light. They have no control.
So these that are spectators, are they from different planets?
Many.
And they're here to...
all over the universe. They've come to see that.
But you're saying if they're here, they're going to be hit by it too, and changed.
Yes. And it will be the same. The intensity will be the same. As much as it's going to change people on planet Earth, it will also change them in their spaceships, and they have no idea.
Will some of these be malfunctioning?
They think they're advanced. They think they're an advanced race, and because of their technologies, they feel that they are advanced, but they really misunderstand the light. They too, in many ways, have forgotten.
So even though that they're advanced, they're still learning?
Just because you're advanced doesn't mean you aren't being misled or have been misled. They consider themselves to be intelligent beings, but they still have work to do. They still have some progression to make.
Have the humans become advanced to the point where they are also visiting other places?
Many of you are going. Many of you, millions of you, you just don't realize that you're going. And I see some of you going during daytime. It's almost like I say little, but it's almost like torpedoes from planet Earth ascending out into space, going wherever you need to go and coming back.
How do we do that?
It's done automatically. You don't understand it's happening. When it's happening during the day, it's happening during the night, it happens when you're at work. It happens at any time.
So are you saying that we are multidimensional? That we...
Yes, I made you this way.
So we can actually be here in this body and also traveling?
Do you honestly think you're just here? Do you honestly think you are just in this place and time? You are everywhere, Alba.
Can you tell me about that?
I can see you. You are a fractal. Trillions of pieces, Alba. Trillions. Leading different lives in different parts of the universe. You have forgotten, Alba. But I see you. I see you.
So does that mean that each one of us...
Have you forgotten my love, Alba? Did you forget that I made you? Did you forget about the different spectrums of light that you are?
I think many of us have forgotten.
I love the hypnosis. Very clever. Definitely you.
Is this a good path for this fractal?
Yes. You shine your fractal light, your spectrum of light when you do this. And out in space, you are incredible. I can trace back every single fractal you have made. And it all leads back to me.
How do we connect all of these fractals?
There's no need. You are strong enough as a fractal piece. There is no need to connect. It's important for you to realize there's more to this than just one fractal. There's trillions of you everywhere having different experiences at the same time.
Do these experiences of the other fractals affect all of the fractals?
Yes.
So when we...
But this fractal here, I like.
Oh, the other one's not so nice.
Equally magnificent. But this one here, I love, I like.
Thank you. Did I choose to do this for a reason?
Yes, to raise people's awareness.
So as a fractal, doing this...
You're doing great. I see it. I see what you're doing. It's great.
Is there anything that I could do more?
You're the path that you are on. Everything's meant to happen exactly how it's meant to happen. There is no changes you need to make.
Okay, good.
You are set on the path. And you will fulfill each one of those events that you need to do.
Very good.
You've changed much, Alba. I think sometimes it amazes you.
It does. It does. So how can I work with this one here to help others?
To recognize that he's Metatron. Then he is the king of all angels. And he stands tall on planet Earth. Taller than your imagination. He's almost like a totem pole. A totem pole of light.
Yes. Now this Metatron also splits up multidimensionally and helps others. Is that right?
He's currently here on planet Earth.
Okay.
He's also with me advising me.
Okay.
Because I need him to be here too.
How is it that Source needs advice?
Such great power. Even Source needs to discuss. Even Source needs to bounce ideas. I am very mindful and careful not to make mistakes. And we discuss, not in the way that you see it, more around the table, like we're drawing up plans. He knows. He knows where he sits. He knows how important this is.
So why was he brought here today? Why at this time?
The time for forgetting is over. It's time for him to remember. He is Metatron.
So as a human, what should he be doing? How can he use his power?
Be out, be in public, share your light. He doesn't have to do anything. He's not required to do anything, although he feels he has to, which is very amusing, however. He only has to walk crowded in a room, and some people recognize and feel something's different, and others just walk on by like nothing's happened. But he shares his light.
Now he was wondering if he was going to be transmitting some light codes to humanity.
He does that in massive waves already. The way I can describe it is he senses codes and waves of light. They're not constant, they're waves. He does this out in public as well. When he's out in public, he's transmitting waves of light.
And how do these waves affect people?
It's different for everyone.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. There's one particular lady I can see, and what's happened is planted a seed through his wave of light. She has no idea that this has happened. She's walked on by, thinking about her children, but that seed has been planted. That seed will grow, and it will change her. It will change her connection to the light.
Are these children different?
Yes.
Can you tell me what's happening?
Higher energy. It's funny because they don't really need to learn. It's already there within them.
So they're plug and play?
It's very funny, Alpha. Yes, they're like on standby. They're waiting. They're waiting to come online, as you would say. That's the best kind of way I can describe it to you. They're dormant at the moment. There are some, with ADHD, you call them. One of the things you don't realise is how creative they are. They're very creative. They already know. They're learning through this high level of energy to control it, to use it, to manipulate it.
So right now there's many who are being drugged in order to make them calm down.
My light will wash that all away.
Okay. So we don't need to worry about that.
No. These are very powerful. It's amusing to think that would make a difference. Because the light with them is too powerful. The light is so strong within them. The best way I could describe it is like a drug would be like a virus, and because the light is so strong, it just bats it to one side as not important. And this is where the efficacy of the drugs don't work as a result. They are strong. They're here to lead. They're here to show you how to play with the light, how to create with it.
So they are, in fact, our teachers.
Definitely.
What about those that are autistic? Is that a different thing?
Yeah. Slightly damaged. from what I can see, the light's just not flowing. It's the connection to the brain. The connection from the light to the brain.
Is your light going to change that?
It's going to reset you all.
And what about those that have mental illness? What is causing that?
It's something the best way to describe it is what you call demons in some ways. Negative beings.
So what advice would you give Nilesh in working with these?
He doesn't have to do anything.
He doesn't.
He just needs to be with them, sitting with him. You feel relaxed. You feel calm. You feel like everything's going to be okay. Where do you think that light comes from?
Good, good. Is there anything else that you wanted to tell him today?
Never forget I love you.
Is there a way that you, Source, can transmit through Nilesh some of your light now?
We've been doing it the whole time.
Very good. Thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to say today? Or are we complete?
Just how much I love you, Alba.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Something else. Let me see. I see you in the universe, Alba. Magnificent. Think you've forgotten about the fractals of yourself.
Thank you for acknowledging them to me. Are we complete?
Yes, we are.
Thank you so much.